I've always been a man of logic. I rely on evidence. I need proof. So, the world of black magic, curses, and hexes always seemed like folklore to me. Interesting stories, sure, but nothing I ever truly believed. I thought it was all superstition, a way to explain the unexplainable. How wrong I was. My journey into the heart of this mystery began not with a seance or a Ouija board, but with my own body betraying me. It was a slow decline at first, a nagging feeling that something wasn't right. Doctors' visits turned into hospital stays. Test after test yielded no answers. My frustration grew. My skepticism remained. Then, the nightmares started. Vivid, disturbing dreams that left me gasping for air in the dead of night. Images of raw meat, toilets overflowing with an unknown substance, and blood, so much blood, flooded my mind. These weren't just bad dreams. They were haunting premonitions, pulling me deeper into a world I never wanted to believe existed. Desperate for answers, I started to explore avenues I had always dismissed. I consulted with spiritual healers, psychics, and even a priest. Each offered their own interpretation of my situation, their own diagnosis of the unseen force tormenting me. Some spoke of negative energy, others of a spiritual imbalance. One name kept coming up: black magic. The possibility, once so easily dismissed, now loomed large, casting a shadow over everything. It was a terrifying thought, but one I could no longer ignore. The evidence, both physical and psychological, was becoming too overwhelming. The presence around you is malevolent. A dark energy is slowly draining your life force. This is black magic. I sense the same. A sinister force is at work here, and it is indeed black magic. My grandmother, a woman steeped in the traditions and beliefs of our culture, had always warned me about the dangers of the unseen world, the realm beyond our understanding. She spoke of envious eyes, jealous hearts, and the power of ill intentions that could harm us in ways we couldn't imagine. I had always dismissed her words as old wives' tales, remnants of a bygone era, stories meant to scare children into obedience. Now, her warnings echoed in my ears, taking on a chilling new meaning, as if they were a prophecy coming true.
She revealed a long-held family secret. Her own sister had been afflicted by a mysterious illness, one that defied medical explanation and baffled doctors. The family had consulted with a local shaman who claimed she had been targeted with black magic, a curse cast by someone envious. He performed a series of rituals and gave her amulets to ward off the evil eye. Miraculously, she recovered, as if the curse had been lifted.
My grandmother's story, once easily dismissed, now filled me with a sense of dread and unease. Could I be experiencing the same thing? Was this dark legacy, this curse passed down through generations, now manifesting in me, in my own life? The thought sent shivers down my spine, making me question everything I once believed. The symptoms persisted, the nightmares continued. I was caught in a vicious cycle of fear, anxiety, and despair. Every ache, every pain, every sleepless night was a stark reminder of the unseen force that was slowly consuming me. My life had become a constant struggle against an enemy I couldn't see, couldn't touch, but whose presence was always felt. I was living under a dark cloud, a constant sense of dread hanging over me. My relationships suffered, my work suffered, my entire life had been hijacked by this unseen force. The skepticism that had once defined me was gone, replaced by a growing sense of fear and paranoia. I was constantly looking over my shoulder, suspicious of everyone and everything. I was a prisoner in my own mind, haunted by the possibility that someone, somewhere, was deliberately trying to harm me. The more I researched, the more I realized that belief in black magic was not just a relic of the past, but a persistent and evolving force. It was a living, breathing phenomenon, deeply ingrained in cultures around the world, transcending time and geography. From the ancient rituals of voodoo and Santeria to the whispered curses of jealous rivals, the influence was undeniable. The belief in the power of dark forces to influence our lives was as prevalent as ever, lurking in the shadows. I learned about the different forms black magic could take, each more intriguing than the last. From elaborate ceremonies involving animal sacrifices to simple incantations whispered with malicious intent, the range was vast. I discovered that anyone could be a target, no matter who they were. Regardless of their social standing, wealth, or religious beliefs, no one was immune. The sheer variety and complexity of these practices were both fascinating and terrifying, a testament to human imagination. It was a hidden world, operating just beneath the surface of our everyday lives, often unnoticed. A world where ancient beliefs and superstitions collided with modern anxieties and fears, creating a unique and unsettling reality. My experiences forced me to confront my own skepticism, to acknowledge that there are forces at work in the universe that we may never fully understand. The world was not as black and white as I had once believed. There were shades of grey, areas where logic and reason failed to provide answers. I began to see the world through a different lens, one that acknowledged the possibility of the supernatural, the existence of energies and entities beyond our comprehension. It was both humbling and terrifying. My journey into the heart of black magic was not a choice. It was a necessity, a desperate attempt to understand the forces that were tearing my life apart. It was a journey that challenged my beliefs, tested my limits, and ultimately forced me to confront the unknown. My journey into the world of black magic has been a harrowing one, a descent into the darkest corners of the human psyche and the unseen forces that surround us. It has been a journey of fear, doubt, and ultimately a search for answers. While I may never have all the answers, I have come to accept that there are things in this world that defy logic and reason. There are forces at work that we may never fully understand, energies that can influence our lives in ways we never imagined. I have learned to embrace the unexplained, to acknowledge the limitations of our understanding. I have learned that sometimes the most important thing is not to find all the answers, but to simply keep asking the questions. My experience with black magic has been a journey into the shadows, a confrontation with the unknown that lurks just beyond the veil of our everyday reality, a reality we often take for granted. It has been a journey that has tested my limits, challenged my beliefs, and ultimately transformed my understanding of the world and my place within it. I still consider myself a man of logic, but my definition of logic has expanded and evolved. It now encompasses the possibility of the impossible, the reality of the unseen, and the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. I have learned that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the ones we see in the shadows, but the ones that reside within us, the ones that feed on our fears and doubts, growing stronger with each passing moment. My journey into the heart of black magic is far from over, and the path ahead remains uncertain. It is a journey that will continue to challenge and shape me, a journey that has taught me to question everything, to embrace the unknown, and to never underestimate the power of belief and the strength it can provide.